Feeling, fighting myself, I'm not winning. Lately I've been too afraid to admit it. Pushing the weight of the world on my shoulders, I don't even know how I'm dealing. Feel like a part of me missing, and I've been looking around, but it's not in my vision. All that I got is earned, not given, but I feel locked down like my brain in prison. Spend a couple thousand to ease my mind, then I get it back, but I know I'm not fine. Everything built up all over time, but I gotta let it out, I can't hold it inside. Keep a smile on my face when they looking at me, but I know that's my only disguise. I'll be trying to get away from my problems. Yeah, you can run, but you can't hide. I've been up fighting my demons, and they be trying to pull me in. Yeah, every night I seen them, I won't back down, I'ma beat them. Yeah, I've been up fighting my demons, and they be trying to pull me in. Yeah, every night I seen them, I won't back down, I'ma beat them. I'm starting to feel like I've been under pressure. I'm keeping my foot on their neck, I won't let up. I know when I fall down, I gotta just get up. I brush it all off, I'm better than ever. Been through a lot, but I'm never gonna settle. Know that I've been heating up like a kettle. Thinking back when I was studying dental, now I got plaques coming on the way, that's special. Yeah, they all come from my spot, but I never stop moving. Gotta do more when I feel like I'm losing. Putting in work, that's the only solution. You the only one who you really be fooling. Damn, trying to find peace inside my head. I've been talking to God, but I'm left on red. I ain't got time to be feeling upset, so I keep doing my best. I've been up fighting my demons, and they be trying to pull me in. Yeah, every night I seen them, I won't back down, I'ma beat them. Yeah, I've been up fighting my demons, and they be trying to pull me in. Yeah, every night I seen them, I won't back down, I'ma beat them. When it come down to it, I'ma bet on me. Ain't nobody fuck with me mentally. Talking that shit, you dead to me. Cause I ain't got time for my enemies. Told her come through, get ahead to me. Telling that truth, it'll set you free. I ain't like them, cause I'm all I need. When it come down to it, I'ma bet on me. Let me tell you right now, I'm the realest. Ain't nobody else ever do it like I did it. I ain't really had a competition in a minute. And a lot of other rappers out here flying spirit. I'ma stay consistent, feeling like a man on a mission. Ballin' like I play for the Pistons, but I'm Blake Griffin. I'ma switch cities, doing shows. I be living on the road, going all around the globe. When it come down to it, I'ma never settle. I be trying to get the bands like it's heavy metal. I'ma put my foot down, keep it on the pedal. Cause nobody ever gave me shit, I had to go and get it. I've been here for a while like a veteran. Been through a lot, but it turned me to a better man. Everything I do is me and myself. Now I gotta be a legend when I put it on a shelf. When it come down to it, I'ma bet on me. Ain't nobody fuck with me mentally. Talking that shit, you dead to me. Cause I ain't got time for my enemies. Told her come through, get ahead to me. Telling that truth, it'll set you free. I ain't like them, cause I'm all I need. When it come down to it, I'ma bet on me. Hey, this an 8-figure mindset. A lot of people want it, but they scared of the progress. I ain't from the projects, but I got my own story that a lot of y'all couldn't ever really process. Didn't when nobody would've given me a second. Now they all come around giving me a lesson. If you ain't want it back then, you ain't coming where I'm headed. I've been thinking I'm the greatest, even if nobody said it. I'm a spaz on the beat, ain't nobody that compete. In a whole different league, they ain't never catching me. I'm the only one to be calling shots for the team. If I want it, I'ma get it, there ain't nothing stopping me. Put my own money in, I don't own nobody's shit. Every week dropping hits, I don't never gotta miss. Put myself on the line, I'ma always take the risk. When it come down to it, I ain't never call it quits. When it come down to it, I'ma bet on me. Ain't nobody fuck with me mentally. Talking that shit, you dead to me. Cause I ain't got time for my enemies. Told her come through, get ahead to me. Telling that truth, it'll set you free. I ain't like them, cause I'm all I need. When it come down to it, I'ma bet on me.
Making paper like Michael, I'm feeling like a boss. Never took a break, not Rachel and Ross. They've been too biased, they can get crossed. 815, now it's time to get lost. Henny in your system, a system like Dennis. Yes, I found a lane like my last name Bennis. Going Bill 9, so they can deny. Yes, I've been cooking in a lab like a chemist. Hate it or love it, but I won't stop till the day that I reach the top. Oh yeah. A legend is what I'll be. I ain't going nowhere so you can get to know me. I don't care what you have to say. Everything is gonna be okay. Yo, if y'all ain't got nowhere to go, just sit back, enjoy the show. Just sit back, enjoy the show. Just sit back, enjoy. And I ain't got shame, that's just me being frank. I invested in myself like a shark, no tank. I made it through the weeds like Nancy, no dank. To the day I get a Grammy saying who I wanna thank. If y'all ain't talking dope, then y'all ain't saying nothing like me.
Up, motherfucker.
Hold on, I hope y'all watching this shit.
First round, real quick.
People that are in those training rooms with him know how good
Because
he
he
is.
just knocks dudes out real quick in the first round.
Yeah, but now we're gonna get a good. I might fuck with this guy. He just, to me,
They're
I thought he was a con
they're-
artist.
no, they're-
just based off his look.
They're at edge. Holy shit! What the hell just happened?
What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Tuesday, October 5th, 2021. Got a big show planned for today. We'll talk about the National League wild card game tonight, kicking off Major League Baseball playoffs. You got the Red Sox and Yankees, one of the all-time oldest rivals in the league, playing tonight. Winner take all, winner go home game. So it should be a fun matchup tonight. No, hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. Working toward the middle of that work week. Eric's here with me today. How's it going, Eric?
What's going on, fellas?
No, a whole lot. Ready to get this going. Glad to see the baseball playoffs are starting. That's one of my favorite times of the year too, because you get the
Some
baseball,
good-
you get the
good
baseball
games.
playoffs, and you get NFL at the same time. It's just like it's like a perfect mix. Only thing that sucks right now is with the wild card just start. You just have the one game tonight and one game tomorrow.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot of sports on for the next couple days. And then you're gonna have baseball about every day, and then football 3 times a week. Colts play the Monday night game next week. Get a little bit of that prime time action in.
The only team that matters in the NFL is the Dallas Cowboys. We
Damn.
coming for that
Tell you
head.
what, the Chargers looked good last night. Chargers are looking damn good right now. Their defense is playing well, and their Justin Herbert and that offense is moving. Okay, we don't have a whole lot of live games today, so we'll start out with the live game we do have, and then we'll talk about some college football, some soccer. Eric's going to talk some soccer. We'll talk some NFL, some look ahead at some of the lines there, and talk about some of the storylines that are going around there. But for Major League Baseball today, kicks off the playoffs. Got in the wild card round for the American League. Yankees versus Red Sox. Red Sox are the home team tonight. It's one game, winner go home. Yankees have Garrett Cole on the mound tonight. Red Sox have Evaldi on the mound. They have the Yankees as favorites on the road in this game. Yankees are -1.5 on the run line. They're -126 on the money line. The Red Sox were plus 108 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 8. Cole's on the mound for the Yankees. Cole has allowed at least 3 runs in 3 of the 4 starts. 3 of his 4 starts this year against Boston, he's allowed at least 3 runs. Cole has a 5.06 ERA, and Boston is hitting 291 off of him for his career. The Red Sox are 10-9 this year versus the Yankees. They started out 6-0 versus the Yankees before the All-Star break and then struggled against them the second half of the season. And in those 19 games, they outscored the Yankees 75-74. So that shows you right there why the spread or the money line is so close on this game, because these teams have been pretty even for most of the season. But the Yankees have struggled to score runs down the stretch. If they're not hitting homers, they struggle. But the Red Sox did as well. They had the easiest schedule down the stretch, and they lost one of the series to the Orioles, but then came back at the last game of the season, got a win and got lucky, and there wasn't a tie. There was almost a tie. They almost had to have a play-in game to get to the wild card game. Came down to one game. I like the Red Sox here just because of the value. You get them at plus money. Because I can see this game going either way, but the Red Sox are at home. And you get better. I'm getting better value at plus 108 on the money line than at the minus 126 in a game that I think could go either way. So if I was going to bet this game tonight, I'd go with the Red Sox money line at the plus 108.
Yeah, this is one of those games that, to me, I don't look at any stats, anything, how it goes. This is the Red Sox versus Yankees in the wild card game. Anything could happen tonight.
Oh, yeah, anything could
This
happen.
is one of those games that it's going to... You just never know. You could flip a coin and have a better chance of, trying to decide who's going to win this game. I'm going to edge it towards the Red Sox strictly only because they're at home. That is the only reason.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm going with them.
And
is because they're at home.
And I just give them a slight advantage at home. And
yeah, I go with them because they're at home and you're getting plus money on them.
yeah,
It's better value than, because to me it's a toss-up game. But I think, like I said, being at home, if Evaldi can just not give up home runs, they're going to have a hell of a chance to win this game because that's what the Yankees strive on.
yeah, they're a swinger or miss, team.
But I like the under the 8 in this game though, because being the first wild card to playoffs, you got 2 good pitchers on the mound. There's a lot of times you see these wild card games be real close games, come down to be like a 2-1, 1-1 game, come down to the last inning.
Yep.
So
Especially this game.
So I would lean toward the under the 8 in this game.
Oh yeah.
I
think
see it
this
more
is
being
gonna
like
be
at the max being like a 3-2 game or something like that.
Maybe like a 5-4 if a couple of the Yankees bats get hot and they bomb some home runs or something.
Yeah,
I mean, if they hit home runs,
it could go over.
then you
but
know that
if these pitchers,
but if they get in those games where then all their big hitters ain't really hitting, a lot of fly balls and strikeouts.
on your over under, it's going to come down that first. You'll be able to tell after the first inning of the game almost if you're going to hit the under or not. If that first inning goes scoreless, you have probably a 70% better chance that your under is going to hit. But if there's runs scored in that first inning, your under is probably fucking screwed.
Yeah.
Because after that first inning, you'll be able to get a feel for the pitchers. Are they hitting their spots, or is one of them struggling? Are they both on? You know what I mean? After that second inning, you get a pretty good feel on that.
And the Yankees got some big bats. A lot of guys that can just go yard at any given moment.
Yeah.
So I think that is the main problem with the Yankees, though, is that they are, hit or miss. I mean, it's either they're hitting long balls or said striking out or long, high pop ups.
They struggle
That's-
to manufacture runs to get a couple base hits, 2 or 3.
They're not a
base hits
hit
in row.
machine. They're not a hit factory. That's for sure. If they can do something in the offseason,
But there's not many teams. There's not many teams in baseball that
are like
that
that
can
anymore.
do that anymore.
Yeah.
All of them go by analytics, and they all rely on launch angle and
But
the
if
long ball.
if you look at a lot of those old Yankee teams that have won this the whole thing, they had a complete team. You had your Sorianos and your guys like that, along with and your Jeters that were your base hitters, your tone setters. For your Bernie Williams, your A-Rods, your even your Girardis and the big hitters.
Yeah.
They were a well-rounded team as
Well,
far
if you
as they could bunt, they could go yard, and they could set up runs. That's how they were. Now they're pretty much one-dimensional.
Oh yeah.
If they're hitting home runs in the game, they're probably going to win.
Well, if you look back just a few years ago when the Royals went on their run, they were a team that could manufacture runs. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't rely on the. No, they hit some home runs, but that wasn't the only way they could score runs.
They
could
had
score,
a couple
they
of
could
guys
do it both ways.
that were big
Yeah.
home run hitters.
Well,
but that's that was mainly it.
and
Whereas
their team-
now the Yankees, look at all the guys that they got in their lineup.
and their team was like that.
It's like
when
a
they were
home run
first,
derby list.
when they were first starting to compete for the World Series, the Houston Astros were like that. They were a team that could manufacture 3 or 4 hits in an inning in a row and score runs, but they also could hit with power too.
Yeah.
And they might have had a buzzer letting them know what pitch was coming too. But
Right.
it
hasn't really affected them. The first year afterwards, the first year after they got caught, it kind of affected them some.
Yeah.
But now,
You know what affected more than that? Is when they cracked down on the pitchers having sticky stuff on their fingers this year. You could tell. Like Garrett Cole that's pitching tonight, he hasn't looked like the same pitcher since they started cracking down on that. He was cruising the first half of the season. They started cracking down on that. His numbers his numbers started to change. There was then not only him. I'm not like calling him out because it wasn't just him. He was just an example that popped in my head. But there was other pitchers that were like that too. And you start seeing a lot more hanging breaking balls. They couldn't get that bite on it as consistently.
Yeah. Do you think that that's something, them little things about baseball, do you think they really give enough of an edge that it's something that they should really, really crack down on? As far as like the, whatever the little tricks are for...
Like the spider tack that they were using this year, and they done that. I thought that was stupid by baseball because, and I said you're going to see a lot more batters get hit, and you did. You saw a lot more batters get hit because in baseballs, they're slick. New baseballs, they're hard to grip, especially if you're trying to grip it tight. It can slide. It can slide right out of your hand.
That's why they try to scuff them up and they rub them in that what they call the world's cleanest dirt. This like fucking filtered like 100 times or something like that, and then rubbed all over the balls before the games. And so they try to get them a little bit where they're not so slick, but still.
But like that stuff, that stuff don't bother me because it makes it a little. To me, it makes it a little safer for the hitters.
You mean it don't bother you if they do it, or it don't bother you that they're cracking down so hard?
It didn't matter. It didn't bother me that they done it. I thought, and my big thing was, if you want to crack down on it, okay, do that, but don't do it in the middle of the season.
Right.
If they wanted to crack down on it, they should have waited till this season was over, and then told them at the beginning of the season, hey, we're changing this stuff. Because you've let these pitchers do this for the last so many years, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the season, you're getting them like, I don't even think it was a week notice. It might have been 3 or 4 days notice that they were going to start enforcing it and cracking down on it. Mm-hmm. You're putting all the pitchers in a tough situation that way. They should have waited to the end of the season if they were going to do anything about it. Me personally, I don't. Like I said, I think it makes it a little safer. I don't think it gives them that big of an advantage. But it was just like with the steroids and stuff. Major League Baseball didn't care about that until people started making a stink about it, and then they cracked down on it. they didn't care about it because it was bringing their numbers back up.
Yeah, especially the year of the McGuire Sosa
Yeah.
race.
And Bonds and
I mean, baseball was starting to lose a lot of their audience.
Well, they'd
the
lost a
numbers,
lot.
The numbers were going down.
they lost a lot because they went on that strike.
Yeah.
And
Saying their numbers were down, and then that happened, and it was kind of like. Then right after that, you had
baseball knew
you had your Giambis doing what he was doing, and
they knew it was
Bonds
going
and all
on.
that. Like
They knew what was going on and never done anything about it. But then the government or whatever got involved, and then they had to, and then they wanted to try to. Then now they wanted to crucify these guys, not let them in the Hall of Fame, and to me that's bullshit because you knew they were doing it and you done nothing about it. You were glad that they were doing it because it was helping baseball, but now that it's not helping baseball, you want to crucify these guys. Same thing with Pete Rose. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. He should never got no fucking lifetime ban. That was fucking stupid.
yeah, Pete Rose
And what
should
they'll
definitely
do,
be in the Hall of Fame.
and I hope they don't do the same thing to Bonds and them, but they probably will. They'll wait till Pete Rose dies, and the next year or two after that, they'll reinstate him and put him in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And that's fucking bullshit.
Where they can't even enjoy it or
One of the best
appreciate
hitters,
it.
one of the best hitters to ever play the fucking game.
Probably the best hitter.
Yeah,
to ever
and
play
you
the
don't
game.
and you don't even it's they done him wrong, and I think they're doing Bonds and them guys wrong. Clemens, them guys that they belong in the Hall of Fame. Did they do? Yeah, but there was a lot more.
Did Pettit get in the
there-
Hall of Fame?
I'm not sure. There's a lot more than players that was doing that than got caught too. Them guys aren't the only ones that was doing it, and
They were just the stars.
And it wasn't just hitters doing it. A lot of pitchers were doing it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was not. It ain't even a chip of the iceberg that we know that actually were doing it.
Oh yeah. And how many coaches were?
And what they should have
know-
done if they were going to crack down on it, fine. They should have gave everybody a warning. Hey, we're going to start cracking down on it. Gave them enough weeks where they could, if they were using it, they can get off of it, and then start penalizing people from there forward. But they shouldn't have penalized people from beyond that.
Yeah, that's like
If you want to
say a new law gets passed, and you did something 5 years ago to break that law, they gonna come and arrest you now for that law. That's kind of the same kind, not really, but kind of. Like, I mean, they did stuff that the organization was turning a blind eye to, and if not, I will almost guarantee you that there was certain officials or whatever in organizations, managers, general managers, trainers, whatever they were, that was pushing the shit to the players.
they all knew about it. Hell,
that was helping them get the shit.
They said you could go in a Major League Baseball locker room, and there'd be two coffee pots. One would be regular, and the other, or one would be caffeinated, the other would be decaf. And the one that was caffeinated had fucking speed and stuff in it. Or
That's fucking
had
crazy.
had some kind of upper in it.
That's crazy.
I forget the exact one. I don't know. It might not have been speed, but it was something that upped you. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude, they had two coffee pots, and the owners, everybody goes in them clubhouse, so they're going to know because they're not going to just let them guys drink it. Not, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, dude, they had coffee pots. One was they like caffeinated, the other was decaf, and the
Yeah,
one that
I
was
mean-
decaf was clean. I saw that in a documentary thing, dude. It's like, yeah, all this stuff was going on. They knew about it, and they just kind of brushed it under. They didn't care and then when they started caring, you should have gave them a month from now, we're enforcing this, and then from then on get penalized. But you shouldn't. Them guys, they should be in the Hall of Fame.
They're what held baseball together in between, in the times of around the strike and after the strike era. Really, that's all people wanted to see was let's see who's going to hit home runs tonight.
And then
Who's going to hit the most home runs? Who's going to hit the biggest, highest, furthest home run? And they had a damn home run watch on ESPN and other sports networks. Like,
oh yeah, them guys are the reason now.
how do you go from
Them guys are the reason now that they have put all them trackers and stuff in there to track the distance of home runs.
How do you go from Barry Bonds and Mark McGuire? They were slender, athletic type
Bonds
dudes,
was known. Bonds was known for stealing bases.
Right. And
when he was younger.
they were slender, athletic type dudes. Yeah, they were always in good shape, but they were nowhere near
No.
looking like they were towards the end, which I understand. Yeah, you get
Yeah,
the
but
older you get and all that, but not like that.
You could tell on Bonds.
It
big
was like
time.
Barry
Even
Bonds.
McGuire
ate-
too. But
It was like
Yeah.
Barry Bonds ate the old Barry Bonds.
But the thing about Barry Bonds, and this is what drives me crazy about it, and I'm not even it ain't like I was a huge Barry Bonds fan
I wasn't a fan
because
at all.
I'm a big Cincinnati Reds fan. So, but if you took Bonds' career and broke it down in two different careers, he had two Hall of Fame careers. He had a Hall of Fame career as a base stealer and just hitting base hits and defense and everything.
Pirates and all
then
that.
with the Pirates, and then when he went to the Giants and became the power hitter, he had a Hall of Fame career.
It was like he turned into two different players.
Kind of like Brady in the NFL. If you broke Brady's 20 years down 10-10, he'd be in the Hall of Fame. He'd be in the Hall of Fame either way. Same way with Bonds if they didn't try to do shit. But okay, that's the only game for today. But tomorrow this is going to be a good game. I'm excited for this because the pitching matchup. You have the St. Louis Cardinals against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And this is a wild card game. Win and go home. And the pitching matchup got two of the best pitchers in the league right now. You have Adam Wainwright pitching for the Cardinals, which I always have a rule in this. Stevie and Eric know I don't bet against Wainwright. But tonight might be a different story because he's going up against who I believe is going to be the National League Cy Young winner this year, Max Scherzer, who has a below 2 run ERA, dude. He's been on fire this season. He was pitching good for the Nationals, and then the Nationals, for some stupid reason, traded him to the Dodgers. And he's been killing it for the Dodgers.
He may have requested a trade for all we know. Like, hey, we suck. I don't want to be here for the rest of my career. I want to go somewhere I can win.
But, dude, this game's gonna be a heck of a game because both these pitchers are capable of taking the game over. And I mean, Wainwright's done it for years, and Scherzer has too. I mean, it's gonna be a good game. They have the Dodgers as a -1.5 on the run line, -225 money line. Cardinals are +188, so they have the Dodgers as pretty big favorites tonight. Over under for this game's at 7.5, and I can see it going under the 7.5 with these two pitchers on the mound. It's going to be a fun game to watch tomorrow night. I hate going against Wainwright, but I'd almost have to lean. Man, I don't know, honestly. If I was going to bet this game, I'd almost lean taking the Cardinals at the +1.5 on the run line. Because I can see this being like a one-run game, being a close game. And if I can see either team just losing by a run. So if I was going,
you want to hold strong on that half run though for in this game. I think that half run is what's gonna.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, go +1.5. You get the points.
Oh, okay.
So as long as they win by. As long as they don't lose by a point, as long as they don't lose by 2 points, you would win, or lose by more than 2 points, you would win.
I got you. I misheard you.
If they lost, well,
I thought you was talking about the other.
If they lost
way.
by 1 run, you would win. If they lost by 2 runs, you would lose.
The opposite.
But
way
if they
I said, I
but
think I would have to take more than 1.5.
But if they won, it wouldn't matter. Yeah, now the Cardinals or the Dodgers are giving up a 1.5. So if you take the Dodgers, they got to win by at least 2 runs. That was the one I wouldn't do that because I could see this being. But man, I hate going against Wainwright too. It's going to be a good game, and then on Thursday you got game 1 of White Sox against the Houston Astros to kick off that series on Thursday. White Sox have not announced who they're going to start yet. The Astros are starting McCullers. Right now. You have the Astros as -152 favorites on the money line. White Sox are +128 underdogs. Over-under for that game's at 8. That's going to be a good series. White Sox play a lot better at home than they do on the road. And then on Friday, the other National League series starts, and it is the Atlanta Braves versus the Milwaukee Brewers. This is going to be a good series. Braves are starting Morton. Milwaukee hasn't announced their starter yet. They have the Brewers as minus 142 favorites. The Braves are plus 120 underdogs, and the over-under for that game is set at 7.5. What do you think about those games?
Not sure, man. You have to wait and see who the pitchers are going to be on those before.
The
really saying
Brewers have a great pitching staff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're either going to start Woodruff or damn it, I can't think of the other guy's name. Braves are starting Morton. Morton's had a good season too. And the Braves offense, man, even with them losing Acuna Jr., their offense has still been great. Or well, yeah, I would say great under the circumstances of losing your star player. But the second half of the season, it looked like the Colts looked like the fucking Reds was going to have that wild card spot. Then the Reds went down, and the Cardinals won like
Reds doing red shit,
and the Cardinals went on like a fucking 17-game winning streak. They won like 18 of their last 20 games to finish the season out and shit.
Yeah, I think they're gonna lose tonight though.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
That's gonna be a fun game to watch. I'll be watching tonight's game too. I thought about maybe going live for it. I don't know. They're fun to do, but baseball games are long.
Oh yeah,
they are fun to do. All right, that's all the baseball for the first games. NFL. Let's look at the Thursday night game real quick. Then we'll go. And Eric will talk some soccer with you guys. I don't know a whole lot about soccer, so I'll be learning as well. Thursday night game this week is the Los Angeles Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. It should be a good Thursday night game.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game.
They have the Rams as 1.5 point favorites on the road. Kind of surprises me. I figured Seattle would be a slight favorite at home. They have the Rams as minus 134 favorites. Seahawks are plus 114 underdogs. Over-under for this game is set at 54.5. I like the over of the 54.5 in this game. I'm not sure on what side of the game I would take it. I'd have to see like the injury reports and stuff, make sure who's all playing and everything. But just like an early look at it, I would lean toward the Rams. Just because
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, that's why I said over to 54.5.
Because you got Cooper Kupp, who was leading the league coming into this past week, and then Lockett, who was like fourth or something in the league, fifth maybe in receiving yards. So you got some guys who can get a lot of yards.
Yeah, the only reason I say I lean toward the Rams is just because I think the Rams' defense is a little bit better than the Seahawks' defense. That's the only reason I'm saying right now I would lean that way. But the bet I really like is the over to 54.5. Because I look for both these teams to score between 28 or more points. It's going to be one of them games. It could be like a 35-34 game or 30. You know what I mean? It could be one of them shootouts that whoever has the ball last is going to win the game.
Or come down to whoever makes a big stop.
Last second field goal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of points scored. So I love that's one of my favorite bets especially on that game, over 54.5.
I'm going to predict this in that game. It's going to be some kind of spectacular defensive play that's going to be the game changer in that game.
I think at least one team will get in the 30s, and I think the other team's going to score more than 24.
Be like Ramsey with some amazing interception, or Donald with some big sack, at his crucial point. Going to be the difference in that game.
Well, that was the difference, not the difference, but one of the big plays in last night's game was that Derwin Jr. for the Chargers came up with a big interception there at the end, but Chargers was up a couple scores, so it was going to take a miracle anyway. But Raiders came back, got down 21-0, came back, made it 21-14, had the ball looking like they were going to go score to tie the game up, and ended up coming away with no points, and then Justin Herbert went right down the field. Dude, he made some hellacious throws. That was a fun game to watch last night. Raiders are good though. They are good, but the Chargers offense, their Chargers defense is a little bit better than the Raiders defense. But all right, we'll talk about the other football games on the Sunday, or not. I mean tomorrow. We'll talk more about like all the Sunday games. If you watched yesterday, I did give like a little preview of all the games. So if you missed that, check it. You can check it out on YouTube, and it's on Facebook because that was before the Facebook crashed yesterday. You can find that yesterday's video on either one of those if you want to, or you can listen to it on the podcast, Anchor Podcast, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify. You can find it there. It's also uploaded there. But we'll talk about those games tomorrow, and tomorrow we will do our preview and predictions for the UFC fight for this Saturday, and we'll probably talk some about the Wilder and Fury fight this Saturday as well. Did you have any more about the football?
Yeah. 2/3 of the earth is covered by water. The other rest of us covered by Trayvon Diggs.
Dude,
5 interceptions in the first 4 games.
he said, who was it? I think it was that Ryan Clark said this. He said there's two Diggs played in the NFL today, and the one that plays defense has more catches than the one that plays offense up to this point.
Yeah.
And I was rolling. But then now Stephon Diggs had a hell of a game for the Bills too. But it was funny, you know what I mean? 'Cause,
Mama and Papa Diggs got to be proud.
No, he did. He had a hell of a game.
Yeah, I tell you, Mama and Papa Diggs got to be proud of their boys. Man, has anybody had more interceptions throughout the first 4 games?
I can't remember. They put the stat up during that game.
It has to be close.
For some
5 and 4
For some
games.
reason, I'm wanting to say he was like second. But I can't remember.
Because I know he
remember.
tied another Dallas Cowboy, Everson Walls, with 3 touchdowns in the first 3 games, and that was a Cowboy record. So I know with getting the 2 yesterday, that broke a Cowboy record. I'm not sure exactly what the NFL record is for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm pretty damn sure that he broke the Cowboys record for that. For the most interceptions
they put
in
something
the
up
first
there,
consecutive games.
He might have broke the Cowboy record, but for some reason I'm thinking he might have been second like all time. I can't remember for sure. I'm gonna look it up here in a second. That's all. Like I said, we'll talk about the rest of the football game Sunday. We'll do UFC tomorrow, some boxing, and we'll talk NFL. We talk NFL about every day because there's always new stories coming about around for NFL. But also, we talk a lot of the NFL on GSR, which is our 1:00 show. That's live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure you check that out as well.
I got 5 people out on a fantasy team.
I haven't looked at my fantasy lineup yet. I got my ass kicked again.
Well, I won this week.
Dude, I can score 170 points and fucking lose. My team's been playing good.
But on one team I had...
Well, my team didn't play as well this week. This is the first bad week I've had. The other weeks I scored 170 points and lost.
On one team I had Chark, Gallup, Julio, and somebody else all out. I was like, man, I was struggling to try to find some capable receivers because I think that's I think in that one it's a 12-person league.
Yeah. Before Eric talks a little soccer here, don't forget we have merch. Check out our merch store, streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports/merch. We have a lot of different t-shirts available on there, hoodies, hats, beanies, a lot of different things. Some new stuff will be dropping soon. We also have some GWR or Gonzo Wrestling Room shirts on hand. If you'd like to get one of them shirts and you'd rather not order it online, that you just rather get it in person, get a hold of me, Eric, Steve, one of us. We can get you a shirt. Shirts are $20. Hey, we appreciate all the support. You can see the GWR shirt right behind Eric here. I also have it on.
The Easy Money shirt.
And then there's the Easy Money shirt, which is available. We don't have none of them on hand right now. We will here soon, but it's available at our merch store. The link to our merch store is available in the video description, and it's also available in a ticker going across your screen. And before Eric jumps into soccer, I want to give a big shout out to Grace Longfellow, who done the GWR shirts for us. If you're around the Muncie area, go check out BCA. Let me give you. I'll get the email for that real quick. boxcardv@gmail.com. You can contact Grace Longfellow through there. She does all kinds of different things.
She set up upstairs in the Mad Jacks building.
Yes.
You'll be able. She'll have a flyer that says BCA on her door.
She does custom illustrations, paintings, and murals. I've seen some of her paintings. She's real good at
She
it.
did an amazing boogeyman painting for that show Sunday night.
Yeah, she does graphic design, screen printing. She also does arts education / tutor, and then she also has a category that said, "What do you need?" So
Yep.
if you need anything like props or anything built like that,
Oh yeah, Grace can do it.
BCA Grace Longfellow, that's the place to go. I wanted to
yeah.
make sure we gave her a shout out because she hooked us up.
Yeah, she did a
last-
great job
last
on
week
them
for-
shirts and did them quickly.
Yeah, she hooked us up for the show for last week, getting them done for us on time and everything.
So thank you for that, Grace.
All right, we'll let Eric talk some soccer here because I don't.
First off, I'd like to give a big shout out to my boy, Big Jackson Morgan here, repping his shirt today.
If you can find his match on our YouTube
find
page.
his match on our YouTube page or our Facebook page. That was an entertaining match. Big shout out to the Stone Cold Killer Jackson Morgan.
While you're over there, hit that subscribe button, please,
Yeah, and likes.
and like. Yes,
And go
hit the like
and go to
button.
WCWO and watch all of their matches, and DCCW and watch their matches. You can see the sick, twisted, demented Jackson Morgan for yourself.
Well, one more thing, real quick. If you didn't see the wrestling show over the weekend, go check out our YouTube page. We have it broke down by each match, and you can also watch Rikishi give that con man director Hollywood House a stink face. I think that was one of the highlights of the night, at least for a lot of people in that room, because Rikishi shut Hollywood House up. So go check that video out on our YouTube page as well, or it's also on our Facebook page as well. And please hit the like button. But all right, go ahead.
Yeah, and for all of you who were wondering about that Facebook and Instagram shutdown, you can thank Hollywood House for that. He was hacking the systems to try to get all his images scrubbed of his stink face. So,
And he joined. Hollywood House did join us live for commentary during that show too.
stinking up our booth.
So make sure you check that out. And some masked man joined our table.
El Vato Loco,
So,
EVL, Evil.
You want to make sure you check that video out as well. All right.
All right, well, get in this for the Premier League for this week. So on the first game, I got Liverpool versus Watford. And I got Liverpool should easily win. They're second in the standings right now. Watford 15th. They're just struggling, and Liverpool are just a classic, just good team. So I got Liverpool over Watford on that. The second game, we got Brighton over Norwich City. Norwich City is bottom of the table. Brighton's having a hell of a season so far. I mean, they're just right outside of the top 5. So I'm looking for Brighton to take over Norwich City on that. I got Aston Villa versus the Wolves in the third game. I got Aston Villa to beat Wolves. Aston Villa's playing tough, even with losing Jack Grealish for the to Man City, their big star. Like Aston Villa's still playing real tough. And we got Man City versus Burnley. Manchester City versus. I hate Manchester City, but they're one of the best teams in the world. You got to give it up to them. I got them beating Burnley. And then we got Chelsea versus Brentford. Brentford just came up this year to the Premier League from the Championship League. They got they won promotion last year, and they're sitting in 7th place. They're looking tough. But it's Chelsea. Chelsea's top of the board right now. They're
Does-
league leaders.
Does Messi play for Chelsea?
Nah, Messi plays for PSG.
Okay.
He plays in France.
Now,
This is England.
Didn't he used to play for
Nah, he played for Barcelona.
Barcelona? Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I know some of the
You're
players.
about to get
but-
crucified of
Hey,
soccer fans.
Hey, I know
who
some of
say
the. Hey,
that.
hey, disclaimer. I know some of the players, but I don't. I couldn't
Yeah.
tell you. I don't know. Like, for example, there, I didn't know what teams they played on.
And then we got Everton versus West Ham. This is going to be a tricky game because Everton's having a better season, but you can never count West Ham out. They play tough. Mikel Antonio's healthy. You got to watch out for him. Declan Rice, Ben Rama, and they're not playing too bad this year. They're sitting 7th, I believe, or 9th, and Everton's sitting at 5th. So I'm going to give the slight lead to Everton, but you never know. This could end up in a draw. West Ham could, score one of them late goals and them 90-plus minute goals, and I could see this going into a draw. And then the last one, I don't like betting on them, but I have been. My favorite team, Manchester United, they're up against Leicester City. Leicester City's always a tough game. They play everybody tough. Right now they're 13th. They're not having the greatest season, but they're better than 13th. And Manchester United's having a little bit of problems right now, really trying to figure out an identity and how they're going to play. And they've gotten 4 new players this year, and they're trying to integrate all of them right. And I think it's about time for Ole to leave and for us to bring in Zidane. But I'm going to give the edge of this one to Manchester United. Not just because they're my favorite team, but I believe they're just the better team, and hopefully they can come out on top on this one. So, again, we got Liverpool to win, Brighton, Aston Villa, Manchester City, Chelsea, Everton, and Manchester United. All to get big wins this week. And hopefully the Manchester United one is right. I don't care if I'm really wrong on all the rest. Just let Man United win this week. We need a big win. But, yeah, that's for this week. That's Eric's Premier League picks.
All right, on Trayvon Diggs, I couldn't find who had the most interceptions through the first 4 games.
Yeah.
But I did find that he's the 16th player in NFL history to record at least one interception in the first 4 games of the season.
So it's happened 16 other times.
Yes, but it's only happened twice since 2000.
Since the band Stickum.
all the other times was before 2000.
That was the Stickum days, huh?
Yep. Yeah, so he's a 16th player in NFL history to have at least one interception in the first 4 games of the season.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought it happened that many times.
Yeah, happened a bunch before the 2000s. Two players had done it since Russell, and I forget the other player. There was 2 players that had done it since the 2000s.
Russell.
Yeah, the guy, I can't remember his first name now. It was something Russell, and let me see if it's still on there.
It ain't Kevere Russell, is it? Let's see. I don't think he did.
It's Brian Russell of the Minnesota Vikings done it in 2003, and Devin McCourty of the New England Patriots done it in 2019.
I remember McCourty. I didn't.
And them are the only 2 players that have done it since 2000.
Montgomery for the Bears is out 4
Dude's
to 5
mustache
weeks.
is on point.
Oh, yeah, Shahid Khan. That's old Tony Khan's dad, isn't it? Or is it his uncle?
Dad.
Dad?
Yeah. All right. Before we get out of here, I'm going to give out my pick. I'm going to have one pick for today. That's going to be the baseball game tonight. I'm going to go with let me get back to that line again. see, the Red Sox are at plus 108. I'm gonna go with the Red Sox at plus 108 on the money line to win the game. And main reason I'm doing it because they're at home, and Yankees have struggled to score runs, and Cole hasn't been as sharp as this season. But hey, he could come out tonight and have a hell of a game. But I'm gonna go with the Red Sox at the plus 108 in the money line. That'll be my one pick for today. Really the only live game today besides NBA preseason, and I don't give out picks for that because you don't even know it. Half the time you don't even know half the players playing.
Half them players won't even be on any roster.
It's like NFL preseason.
Yep.
But I'll definitely give out. We'll have a show tomorrow. We have both shows tomorrow, so we'll give out picks for the Cardinals and Dodgers game tomorrow. We'll talk UFC. Give out our preview and predictions of that for this Saturday. We'll talk some Fury and Wilder Saturday night. That should be fun. So busy weekend this weekend in sports. Got football on Sunday, and this will be a Sunday we don't have nothing going on, so we will be live for football on Sunday this Sunday. Even though the Colts don't play till Monday night, but we'll still be live for I would say probably the 1 o'clock games and the 4 o'clock games because I know Stevie will be here. Brandon will probably be here. If Eric ain't working, he'll probably.
I don't think I work Sunday,
so we'll probably have a full house here in the room, I would say, on Sunday.
Be nice to get the whole band back together for.
Stevie and Brandon usually come over about it. If I'm home, they come over on Sundays. So, and if you're off, so yeah, we should have at least 4.
Yeah, I should be off. Pretty sure I am. This Sunday, at least. And
I'll be posting more information about those shows and what time we'll be live. I'll be posting all that stuff on our social media pages. So make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. You can also find me on Facebook at Chris D. Gonzalez. We're on Twitter at Chris Gonzalez at Gonzalez Sports.
Me at Eric Gonzalez with the Z at the end on Facebook, or Eric Gonzo 765 on Instagram.
Don't forget we're live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. We're giving out winners. Come join us. We're also live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch for GSR Gonzo Sports Room. Come join us for that as well. It's usually an entertaining conversation. Also, be on the lookout here real soon. We'll be starting our GWR podcast. So be on the lookout for that. There'll be a big announcement coming up with some dates of when we're going to be airing the first episode for that. You can find a lot of our wrestling coverage right now. Go to YouTube page, Facebook page, Twitch. It's on all 3 of them.
Keep a lookout for our 100th episode of GSR coming up soon.
Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, the follow buttons. We appreciate it. Check out our merch store, streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports /merch. Have a bunch of different shirts on there. You can see some of them hanging up back here. Hats, hoodies. We got some new stuff we'll be dropping soon.
Yeah, it's getting chill. It's starting to get chilly. Get them hats and hoodies.
Get you a beanie. And then the GWR shirt, which I have on, or it's also up here behind Eric. We have those on hand. If you'd like to get one of them shirts, let us know. We have small through extra large. But if there's some people that are wanting some 2Xs, if you let us know, we'll put in an order of 2Xs.
Or youth sizes will be available soon.
Yeah, youth size will be available soon, and we'll get some 2Xs on hand. But if you're wanting a 2X and you for sure want one, let us know. We'll make sure we get one. We get one for you. You can find both shows in podcast form on Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, Pocket Cast, Breaker Cast. About anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find us. We will be on. If everything goes right here soon, we'll be on the iHeartRadio podcast network. So keep keep it out and listen for that as well.
Keep an eye out also for feature interviews and different events that we may have coming up. Might be having some big things coming up, so keep an eye out on our social media pages for those, and go to it. And we just got all the individual matches for DCCW Harvest Havoc 3 put on our pages, and so that way if there's a certain match that you're wanting to check out or something, go hit those up and you can find each individual match on those.
If you're not aware of what the Harvest Havoc 3 was this weekend, it was
Yes.
a pro wrestling show. They had WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi there. WWE legend The Boogeyman was there. WWE legend Head Shrinker Samu was there. So you had both Head Shrinkers there because Rikishi Fatu was also Head Shrinker Fatu.
Had WWE prospect and new DCCW World Heavyweight Champion Dex Royal in the house,
Had Impact star Jake Chris.
and Corey Storm of
205
205 Live.
The big show, you can find all those matches. You can watch the whole show, or it's broke down in matches either way.
Had the tag team champs, the highlight reel, the realest tag team in the game. They was there. They was out. They was doing their thing.
They actually wrestled Corey Storm and Chris.
Born to Die.
Yep, for the championship match.
Yeah.
Not going to tell you who won. Go check it out so you can find out who won that match. It was a great match.
Had the #1 overall draft pick, Big Money Blake Money Wright. Had Loud and Proud Logan Myers, the Mississippi Boy Zay Gates, Eric Onyx, the frat boy Jay Beeve. Who else was there, Chris?
Let's see.
Max Sterling,
Max Sterling, Evil the Clown,
JKO, that good for nothing Skull Crusher,
Ladies Man Mike King,
the Stone Cold Killer Jax Morgan, the Ladies Man Mike King,
Coondog.
Terry Coondog Coons was whooping people's ass with the kendo stick. So check that out. Coondog was getting it on.
You know who else was there?
Who?
GWR.
GWR was in the building. Jordan James was there.
Rachel Armstrong.
Rachel Armstrong, Dutch Boy Platinum.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot of talent, a lot of action. So go and check out those videos, or if you want to watch the whole show, the whole show's on there in one. Or just check out each individual match if you want to just check out that. But it was a good show. It was a great time.
Make
Great
sure you
matches.
get on there and see the con man Hollywood House get the stink face
We
from
can't
the
forget,
WWE Hall of
and
Famer
not to
Rikishi.
mention last but definitely not least was that California con man Hollywood House.
And one,
Stinking up the place.
Oh, yeah.
Coming stinking up our show. Like, man.
and one last thing I want to get out there before we go is shout out to Ryan Guffey. He
Yep.
was the winner. We done a raffle at the show. Winner of the raffle got a GWR t-shirt and got to sit down and do commentary with us for their choice of one of the matches after intermission.
Yeah, him and his little boy came on, and
They joined us for the Boogeyman match. So check that out on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.
yeah, so shout out, congrats to Ryan Guffey.
I want to thank everybody for all the support. You got anything else before we get out of here?
No, just
I think we about covered it all.
yeah, big shout out to all the guys, Big Raj, Holden, Terry, Jared, all them guys for a great show. Like,
Yeah, shout out to
Steve,
DCCW.
Yes, Steve, and
DCCW for having
all
us.
of them. Like,
Yeah, big
Yep.
shout out to all the DCCW family for having
Yep.
us there and
shout out
being
to the
so
Shockley
being
family.
so receptive of
Yep.
us.
Shout out to the Shockley family and to all the ladies that was doing their thing over in the concession stand. It was a good show. It was a great show. It was a lot. It was real fun, real
Steve
entertaining. I
Hedrick,
loved it.
ring announcer.
Steve and DJ's there.
Dustin
Dustin, yes.
Phillips, the DJ.
Yep.
Thank you for all your help too. He makes sure that we get together before the show, make sure all of our sounds matching up and stuff. So he make sure we have the internet we need and stuff. So big shout out to him.
Yeah, It was great show. Go check it out on our pages, guys.
We appreciate you guys joining us today.
Yep.
Don't forget, we're live tomorrow twice.
Hit that like button.
We'll be live tomorrow twice at 11 and at 1 with both shows. Check us out, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, podcast form, Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify. You can find us a lot of different places. Be a friend, tell a friend about us. Please hit that like and the follow buttons. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Promise you won't let me go. We don't die, we multiply. Going where they never go.
At Allstate, we've been saying you're in good hands for a long time. But what exactly does that mean? Does it mean you're protected from life's uncertainties? Does it mean you can worry less and live a little more? Does it mean you're not alone, even when things get kind of hard? Actually, yes. Yes, it does. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
Aye. We had some pride. Put it aside. Cutting the pie. With all the guys, Made mistakes and then I made up my mind. What I decide? I gotta grind, I gotta grind. I gotta grind. I gotta grind. All of the time, 24/7, 365. Gotta get mine. Stay on my grind, Aye. Look, it's business, ain't personal. Money straight, so I'm curving them. Whoa. He been tweaking, something irking him. Did them favors, they was not deserving them. Boy, I be thinking a mile a minute. They gotta be kidding. We go to war, I'm the captain, the general, and the lieutenant. Nowhere to run or hide, I don't stop till it's finished. Me, I be minding my business, drop more records than Guinness. Gotta be a Guinness World Record. Don't play chess nor checkers. I only play for keeps. Came out the east, boy, I'm a beast. He gotta keep the peace. That thing on him is keeping the peace. I never sleep out in the streets. Gotta stay out there, reach. With the mob, talk that talk, Seiko peace, shit. Feel so big, talking Papa Shone